I have to tell you, Sarah, it's not Pastor Amy. It's my responsibility because I voted that night in September to stay. I won't let Pastor Amy take that responsibility.
There's been some outreach from First Christian Church and other faith groups and others about maybe there's a better solution. And so our homeless response staff and the city are encouraged that maybe there's opportunity for new partnership. So the announcement is that the city is pausing for a short period the work to complete the cleanup under 4th Avenue. And don't be confused about this issue. The concerns of public health and public safety and environmental degradation under the bridge are real and will continue. And this is perhaps the worst location that I can imagine for a temporary encampment of any kind.
And when I look at the 4th Street Bridge, I see an opportunity to work with this community, not necessarily keeping them here, I'm not saying that, but keep this community in this group and work with them, with our service providers, with our faith base, and when we get a new stabilization camp set up, we move them in block. We keep that community together.
I also went over there and talked to Pastor Amy this morning. She said that she could help with the future management of the people under the 4th Avenue Bridge as it is, which is under 20 people. She felt that they could facilitate some self-governance options for that group as we work to move them off that site.
The manager's announcement tonight provides excellent news from the First Christian Church and from other faith communities and faith leaders.
One eternity later.
Now, with the support of the First Christian Church, we've been told that the camp clearing is expected to be delayed. I appreciate that a speedy response may be possible. But at the same time, my motion calls for assurance that the delay not be tied to a calendar, but rather to conditions on the ground. Through this action, the council will establish expectations that before the site is cleared, a comparable, safe, and appropriate alternative location will be available to the people currently in the bridge encampment. As we move through this interim period, we need regular progress reports from staff. Our community needs to know what is happening. And to ensure that the council is fully transparent in our community and future camp clearances that might trigger the need for advance notice to the occupants must be brought to this council for affirmative approval well before the clearing begins.
Mayor Selby and council members, Steve Hall, city staff. I'm Reverend Dr. Amy LaCroix with First Christian Church in Olympia, and I had a big speech, but now I get to, you're welcome, I won't say it. But I do want to thank you and say that I am grateful to you for your good discussion tonight and for passing this motion and giving us the relief from sweeping the camp tomorrow so that we can do the hard work that is before us, and to affirm for you that First Christian Church is committed to partnering with our friends and neighbors at the camp. The residents of the camp asked us specifically for help, and we're responding to that request. We will be partnering with them to help set up a structure for self-government, and we're committed to meeting with them on a weekly basis to help ensure that that the rules and their system of governance is actually, they live by that, and to partner with them in any other ways. We're also committed to partnering with the city with the other nonprofit organizations who are already providing services. I am part of Concerned Clergy, and I bring their greetings, and the Concerned Clergy of Olympia's pledge to be a part of this and to do our best. So I hope that we can all roll up our sleeves and get to work and really be effective in helping create a really stable, positive camp environment, and hopefully if it needs to move from 4th Avenue, that we'll have a stable, strong community ready to move. And that it will be it's the best possible, it's good for our community. I know there's so much fear out there, but it's good for our community, for the camp and the residents of the camp who are not those people, they're human beings, just like the rest of us, and have dreams and hopes and aspirations just like the rest of us. And if we can work together, they will be an amazing, important part of our community and have so many gifts and strengths to offer. So if we can set our fear aside, or move past our fear, or move forward in spite of fear, may it be so. Thank you.
Sarah Joseph, followed by Maria Cortez.
Good evening. I'm here to compare and contrast two faith communities within our city. To Westminster Church, I want to thank you for seeing a need within our community to assist those who need transitional housing outside of the cold and away from dangerous, drug-filled and crime-filled encampments, and providing a place to go for those people who want to make a change. You responded to this need in our community the correct way. You worked with our city leaders and with an experienced agency to assist and truly help people in a lasting way. While I may have some misgivings about the Low-Income Housing Institute because of some of their less successful communities in Seattle, I can only hope and believe that they have learned from those mistakes and they won't be repeated here in Olympia. We are monitoring things closely, and I am encouraged that the Plum Street Village has not been a problem yet, and I am optimistic for the same for Westminster, and I sincerely thank them for their efforts. With regard to First Christian Church and Pastor Amy LaCroix, your involvement in stopping the long-anticipated removal of the 4th Avenue Bridge unsanctioned encampment was the wrong move. This camp has grown and become more disorganized. Jesus Christ himself said, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's." The city government was in the process of carrying out their duty to the rest of us by removing that dangerous camp and abiding by the Squaxins' wishes with regard to their treaty rights. That would have been rendering under Caesar. And now it is time for you to render unto God what is God's. It seems like you're in over your head, perhaps led astray and manipulated by misguided advocates and some political maneuvering, perhaps those squatting there and stalling for time to do what they want. In the future, allow the city to do what they need to do to remove dangerous encampments without interference. Provide shelter for those people in your homes on your church property, as Westminster is. Please do not continue to go down this road at the expense of our entire city. Do the right thing as a purported follower of Christ. To this council, I and others look forward to working with you in 2020 towards the betterment and safety of our community. We fully believe that the current and unacceptable conditions in Olympia can be turned around, and it can be done compassionately without enabling criminality, addiction, and ever-growing unsanctioned encampments that seems to be no end in sight. To those who have met with us already and will be meeting with us in 2020, we sincerely thank you as well. Those of you that are too steeped in ideologies who may dismiss us and maybe even mock us, you continue to do so at your own political peril and our city's actual peril. We are open to meeting with anyone willing to do the right thing and change course where it is needed. We don't have to agree on every single point or be polite politically on every issue, but we need to change what's clearly not working within our community. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, Sarah, it's not Pastor Amy. It's my responsibility because I voted that night in September to stay. I won't let Pastor Amy take that responsibility, okay? And I will talk to anyone about anything. I can't guarantee we'll agree, but I will do it.